What's up guys, it's Pliskin here and we're back at it again with another live action video. Now, if you've been subscribed for a while, you'll remember how I used to do these videos talking about whether or not CQC was practical. Back then I didn't do any face reveals because of the line of work I was thinking of going into. I thought that might not really, jive. However, I've changed career paths and now as such I'm much more comfortable showing my face and making live action content like this. And I figure, that first CQC video was my first video to reach 100 views. So let's revisit that by doing a little bit of some live action CQC talk. Maybe we'll do firearm stuff in the future. Just a little bit of a new video format, pushing myself, trying something new, and we'll see if you guys enjoy it. So today I want to be talking about some simple, practical, and easy to learn basics with striking that I feel that anyone can pick up that has worked for me in the past, and it's a good starting point for these kind of videos. Now, a little bit of a backdrop with my experience. I've trained in martial arts for a large portion of my life. Recently, I was working in a job that required me to use force, both in defense and to, meet the job specifications. I got into a lot of situations where I had to apply physical force and had to survive physical force being used against me. So I have a decent chunk of hand-to-hand combat experience, and as such, I want to share some of the things I've learned with you guys so you can protect yourselves better in a world that kind of gets crazier by the day. So before we get into this, I just want to mention 3 things that are better than anything else you could ever learn when it comes to keeping yourself safe in a fight. The first, avoid situations where fights can happen. If you're out with your friends and you're at a bar and there's some guy that's trying to make issues with your guys, or if you're out with your girlfriend and some guy's hitting on her and yelling at her, making her feel uncomfortable, get up and just leave. Get up and walk away. They might yell some things at you. Don't let your pride mess with you. If you're in a situation where you can literally just get up and avoid the violent encounter, do it. Because you'll be leaving with your health, with your safety, and with your freedom. And when it comes to fights, that is the best thing you can ask for. The second thing is, if you're in a situation where running away is an option, if you're in a fight or flight scenario, flight is much more practical. This doesn't just keep with like street fights or someone trying to assault you. This applies even to armed combat. Being able to run, reposition, retreat is invaluable. It's the greatest skill set a human being can have, being able to run away from things. So work on your cardio and always be able, if you need to run, to escape, to flee, because again, you'll get out with your health, your safety, and your freedom. And in a violent situation, that is the best you can ask for. Now, the third thing, and something that saved my life on a lot of occasions, is having a group. You see a lot of media where you have a one-man army. Snake's going into Shadow Moses and he's fucking up genome soldiers on his own, even though there's like a bunch of armed guys coming at him. It's just him and he takes them down because he's just better. Or Resident Evil 4. You have Leon and he's like throwing suplexes and these crazy kicks, taking down literally an entire army of ganados. It doesn't work like this, because even if you are stronger, more trained, and more able than a group that's coming at you, if you have 2 guys holding down your arm, more than 200 pounds of force on your arm, you're not going to be able to move it. If you have people holding your legs and your other arm all swamping you at the main time, while one person comes at you and stabs you, punches you, or whatever, you're done for. So having a group yourself, being out with a group of friends, can deter people from trying to cause issues with you. And if a fight breaks out, having someone there to help you, watch your back, and you being able to return that favor, there's a reason why humans have evolved to work and exist in groups. It works. At that job that I mentioned before, there are a lot of situations where, I don't know if I'd be sitting here today, either healthy or alive, if I didn't have the capable and reliable team looking after me. So I am grateful to everyone that I worked with that got me here. I'm grateful to that group, grateful for that teamwork, and I really hope that I was able to be that supporting ally during those situations like they were for me. So the first thing I want to talk about is the philosophy behind the moves we're going to be using here today. I feel with any kind of combat method, there should be a philosophy behind it that justifies its application. Now, I'm going to be using a term that was taught to me back during my years of firearms training, which is Workspace. Now, human beings, we are designed like predators. We see ahead of ourselves. Our eyes aren't built on the sides of our head. We see ahead because we hunt and we work in this space here. Our arms, our legs, everything about us works well here. So whether I'm reaching for someone, shaking someone's hand, if I am playing video games, if I am writing a book, typing on a computer, using my phone, I'm not going to be trying to use my peripheral vision. I'm not going to be trying to do things over here. It's much more effective, and you'll find the movements are just generally a lot more natural moving in front of your body in that workspace. So what you'll see in a lot of video games and in a lot of movies are these really extravagant kind of, spectacle type moves. Think about all the crazy kicks that Leon throws in Resident Evil 4. These are great, and I'm sure there's people that have trained much harder in certain martial arts than my out of practice ass, and I'm sure those people could use elaborate kicks to absolutely deck me. However, I want to show you the things that I have used, the things that I've seen work, and the things that have gotten me and other people out of serious harm's way. So again, everything we're doing today is going to be within this workspace philosophy. I don't like moves that have you moving out of your workspace. Let's take hooks, for example. I always like to think of Joel from The Last of Us. Whenever you're fighting in Last of Us, Joel is swinging, putting his full body weight just into these large, winded, telegraphed moves. And you'll notice when I am doing this, you see this coming before my fist is in the desired area, You know I'm throwing a hook long before it lands. And the issue with this is that if you see something coming, if I am committing to a move like this, it is easy to get out of the way. It is easy to counterattack, and it is easy to block and grab. I've grabbed people that are throwing hooks or trying to grab me like this, and I've been grabbed back in the days where I first started martial arts, throwing a hook, and I can tell you, when someone grabs and is ready to counter after they have your hook, what happens next is not fun. So before we go directly into the different moves I'm going to be talking about, I need you to look at my feet. Check out these really cool Mario socks. I got Sonic ones too. But the first thing we're going to be talking about for this whole workspace idea to work is how your legs should be positioned, because all of your movement is going to be based on your legs and your hips. So if you don't have these right, you're already set up to lose the fight. Now what you're going to do is place one foot slightly in front of you, one foot slightly behind you. You're going to put them at about shoulder's length, and you're going to bend your knees a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit where you can kind of bounce comfortably. Now like this, it's easy for me to step back, move forward. It's easy for me to twist to either side. If someone pushes me, I can catch myself with this leg or this leg respectively. I am just ready to move, and you'll also notice this is easy to hit. This is a wide range, target zone. When I'm sideways, there's less of me to hit, and it's harder to hit me. So yeah, now that we have footwork out of the way, the first move we're going to be learning is the jab. Now, you're going to have your legs in that position that we talked about before. Your arms, you're going to keep up. You're going to keep them tucked in a little bit. You're going to keep them by your head. From right here, I'm a little bit versatile, whether I'm throwing an attack or if I need to block, if I need to move away, if I need to bring my arms in or move them out, I have that option to do so. Whereas if I have my arms here, it takes a lot longer to reach there. It takes a lot longer to block. If I'm moving a certain way, I want to keep my arms tucked in. This is my workspace. I keep them closed in here. It's easier to move them here. We're going to get our arms up, and the first move we're going to do is a basic jab. Now the jab is where the arm that's closer to your opponent, that's matching up with your leg that's in the front here, you're going to shift your body weight into the punch. So you're just going to lean forward and come right back. So if we look at this sideways, we're in our position here, right? We're leaning in with our body, we're pulling back. We're leaning in with our body, we're pulling back. A jab is fast, you don't have to commit a lot. If someone grabs my arm in the middle of the jab, my other arm is right here and ready. I have options, you know? I'm quicker, I'm lighter. It's not gonna be the hardest punch in the world, but it is gonna be a good way to get someone to create a little bit of distance from you. It's a good way to see how fast someone is by testing, you know, okay, how fast can they block? Are they really in the mood to fight me, or are they just talking shit? It's just a general kind of good starter move. It's very basic, it's easy to throw, and it's easy to pull back from. So you just torque your body a little bit and you punch. You'll notice when I'm doing this that my fist stays straight with my arm. Now you'll see if you've practiced boxing or if you've seen people that do boxing, they'll tell you to turn your fist in like this. And when you're practicing in a sport that has you using boxing gloves that protect and give you wrist support, sure, yeah, go for this. But when you're in a situation where you're defending yourself and you don't have access to that kind of protective equipment, keeping your wrist and your fist in a clean straight line, you have a lot more support on your wrist like this than you do like this. So yeah, the jab, very simple, very easy. You don't really have to move much, you don't have to commit much. Just torque your body a little bit. And that's it. The second move we're going to be talking about works in unison with the jab. Now this is going to be with whatever arm is further back, matching up with the leg that's further back. This is going to be the cross. Cross is a little bit more complicated. You're going to twist your leg so you move your entire waist and body. Remember, you're punching with your body weight, not your hand, your body weight. So you're going to be twisting your leg a little bit. And as you twist that leg, you do that same kind of shaped punch forwards. Remember to keep your wrist straight, wrist forward, and you're just gonna throw your cross. Now the issues with the cross are, it's a little bit more of commitment to the movement. So for example, if I'm just throwing a jab, I can throw that light, my arm comes back in a lot faster. With a cross, there's more of my body moving. So to move back, it takes effort. But because I'm shifting my weight forwards, I'm getting more force. So very simple with your punches, you have your jab and your cross. And if you want to practice these, again, you don't need to have a lot of space because you're just in that workspace. So even if you're doing this in like a tight hallway, you can practice both of these punches without, having to do anything crazy. And again, anyone can do these movements. Doesn't matter if you're fat, you're skinny, you're good on your cardio. And if you're not good on your cardio, doing this, just 2 jabs and a cross. So doing that, set a timer for like 5 minutes, and I promise you, you'll be sweating. I'm sweating right now because I live in a tropical climate, and for you guys to hear anything I am saying, I need to have the air conditioning off, so I am suffering right now. Now, next, while punches are great and all that, the next basic and practical set of moves I'm going to show you are kicks. Now, kicks are great because your legs are a lot heavier than your arms. So there's a lot more force that comes with moving your legs. We're going to be following that same kind of philosophy of your workspace, of being able to pull back, of not telegraphing what you're doing, keeping that speed up, not having to expose any parts of your body. So the first thing we're going to practice is going to be one of the greatest kicks ever. If you learn this one kick, you have a serious edge over a lot of people that don't know how to effectively use this. And again, it's pretty easy to learn. This is called the push kick. You actually see this in a lot of movies and games because it's simple, it's effective, and it looks cool as hell. So for a push kick using your back leg, what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of a step forward, you're going to raise your leg up, you're going to push outwards, and you're going to bring your entire body weight moving forwards. So again, a little bit faster, what that looks like is that. You'll notice my leg isn't coming that far up. You know, I'm not doing a crazy high kick. I'm raising my knee to my stomach and I am pushing forward and just letting my body weight move forward. This will move someone if you land it. And if you don't land it, again, when you land, you're still in your workspace. So even if I am throwing this kick and someone moves back or I miss them and they're here and they're trying to attack me, I still have my options of things I can do. Showing it to you sideways, take that step forward, raise your leg up, kick forward and come down. A little bit faster. That's all there is to it. Now, some of the issues that come up with that version of the push kick is that you are committing a lot of time and a lot of weight, and that can leave you vulnerable. So there's another variant of the push kick that, while it's weaker, it retains a lot of control. It's still a push kick, but you're going to be doing it with the leg you have in the front. And instead of taking that step, and instead of like sending all that force forward from back here, all you're going to do is raise your leg up, kick forward, and just come right back down. So again, what that looks like faster. Let's do it sideways. So you can do it if they're closer, if you don't need to take that step to do it. And again, you don't need to get your leg up super high. You don't need to do anything, too crazy, because if you hit them just in their lower midsection, they're going to move back. If you hit them on their legs, specifically at this point right above the knee, they're gonna fumble down because your leg isn't meant to bend backwards like that. And even with a front push kick, that's enough force to send someone's knee out of commission. So you can literally end a fight before you even get into a serious amount of danger with a well-placed push kick. Again, look at how little I am moving. Look at how little force I am using. That's it. That's it. And again, I'm right back in my workspace. So if it doesn't work out, I'm right back here and I can try something else, or I can try that again. Now, I've talked already about the advantages that kicks have in regards to, weight and force over a punch. However, there's two other reasons why kicks are really good. Most of the times you're not going to have your hands covered or with support. So you can injure yourself when you're throwing punches. You can cut your hands up when you're throwing punches. Punches also leave visible marks and damage on your opponent. And in the age of social media, someone can come and attack you, you go to defend yourself, someone records you when you're defending yourself and then says you were the instigator. That can cause problems, because then if the guy's like, yeah, this dude did attack me without provocation, and now I have a black eye to show for it. Another reason why punches can be a little problematic, now that job I was working in, I was going up against people that not only were mentally unstable and violent, but they carried a lot of viral infections and diseases. Which means if you're throwing a punch and your hands are cut up, you don't have the proper protective gear, and you catch a tooth, or they spit into it, or they've cut themselves and you get blood into your hands, you all of a sudden catch something they have. So with kicks, you're gonna be having shoes on. You have more distance between you and the person you're fighting. You don't have to worry about if they have a disease. You don't have to worry about, leaving marks on their face. You don't have to worry about, damaging the bones in your hand, because with a kick, specifically again with push kicks, it's low effort. A kick to the midsection isn't going to leave a mark, but it's still going to get whatever bad guy is trying to hurt me away from me. And you're just covered up. You're more protected with your legs. Your legs are stronger. They tend to be more protected than your arms. Because if you're out in a t-shirt, like look at how much of my skin is exposed here. Versus with my leg, I don't have that same problem. So again, now for a little bit of summary. For your jab, cross, you have your push kicks, and yeah, there you go. There's 4 moves that are practical, have worked for me in real life defensive situations. They're powerful, they're easy to learn. Again, there's no acrobatics going on here. So if you want, practice your jabs, practice your crosses, practice different kinds of push kicks, and not only will you have a great form of cardio to train yourself that way, not only will you be learning self-defense moves, but you can do these anywhere. Because again, if you don't have a lot of space, all that kind of stuff, you're training with a healthy philosophy, these are just the most basic forms of strikes that give you the most bang for your buck. That no air conditioning is really killing me. But yeah, anyways, this has been Pliskin. This video is probably going to be really rough because it's my first time really doing something like this. But if you guys have enjoyed, or if you have any requests, if it's in my capability to do so, I'd love to make more live action videos like this, talking about different aspects of combat. Maybe we can bring in virtuality versus reality into this. I don't know, you guys let me know. Anyways, I'm going to take a body shower, and I am going to rest somewhere with air conditioning. This has been Pliskin. Over and out.
This is Solid Snake. Hey, subscribe to Pliskin Boy. God damn it.
You heard him.